On the spot news media, we got the latest news. We don't care about the views, we just representing right. Put local news internationally every night. On the spot, wave that Jamaican flag from left to right. Let's get it right, y'all know the type. We ain't dealing with the hype, we make it take flight.
Yeah man, my viewers and subscribers, what one, a blessed and wonderful Monday morning to each and every person out there tuning into On The Spot News Media. Now my peeps, I don't know how we do it over on this side each and every morning. We have to give thanks and praise to the Most High Creator for the preservation of life, because life is indeed the greatest. So in the morning, my peeps, I have a few stories to share with you, the regular members of Chan Public and also members of the diaspora. So please like the video, share the video, watch the entire vlog so you can get a full understanding and a better appreciation of everything we're going in Jamaica. So watch this now, my peeps. We're going to kick it off in the morning here with some international stories coming out of the state of Alabama, a section known as Mobile, where 2 more arrests have been made in connection to a lottery scamming investigation. Yeah, man. So the Mobile FBI arrested Sheikah Walcott on Monday, April 7th, and Kesia Walcott on Wednesday, April 9th, according to their jail records. The federal indictment said that the 2 suspects, along with 4 Jamaican nationals, were arrested in February of this year, and they were indicted on conspiracy to commit mail fraud. The indictment states that the suspects would convince victims they had won some sort of lottery. And it is also stated that the alleged conspirators would then direct the victims to prepay taxes on their winnings by sending money to addresses associated with various conspirators in the Southern District of Alabama. So now a total of 10 suspects have been listed on the indictment. I carried that story in its totality when the Jamaicans were arrested, and now 2 more have been arrested. I'm not for sure if these 2 are Jamaicans or just their conspirators in the lottery scamming scheme that was being carried out by them in the state of Alabama. So in a way, make we continue to local style. So watch this now, my peeps. We're going to kick off this morning's set of stories with some updates. Some updates that, boy, may I tell you, really sad on behalf of the families who are going through their pains and sufferings right now because they have lost their loved ones. Now, the first update is coming out of the parish of Chisholm, where this man, presently on your screen identified as Triston Jones, who went missing some days ago, on April 3rd to be exact. Now his body was found in bushes. It is said that he was coming from a party or a night or something of the sort, and I'm liquor upon a motorcycle, and it would seem as if he run off of the road, end up in some bushes and lay down there, and him life leave him. So his body was found yesterday, if memory serves correct, or sometime over the weekend. And the police took him up, you don't know, carry him got the mark, put him down, and awaiting post-mortem report to see if I just crash and lose him 3 pints, or somebody knock it and clap it pan him off of the bike and him end up going at the bush and end up losing 3 pints. So we don't know for sure until the autopsy report comes out. And also this female presently on your screen identified as Nicola Chisholm. It is stated that her body was found in her Glenmure scheme address in Maypen, Clarendon. Really, really sad. Now what is said that took place is that a dog was seen with the head of the female in the streets. And then a search was launched in the area, and the body was later found in what is described as a shallow grave. And also, this screenshot has been making rounds all over social media, where it is stated also that the girl that was to meet her man in Spanish Town from Glenmuir scheme was found decomposed, dog draw her head on the road, and people call police and them search and find the body. Now, on the spot, news media was reliably informed that this was confirmed. Really, really sad, my peeps. Really, really sad. But anyway, make we get right on into this morning's set of stories. Now, the first thing that we're going to talk about, we're going to play a video clip. A video clip from Talk Therapy founder and director, Lexis Hayes, who states that men are urged to step up as fathers to help to reduce crime. Now, I want to listen to what she say keenly, and then we're going to get into the meat of the matter. Now, listen.
Doing is identifying single fathers. Because what we're seeing, a lot of females are leaving the home and leave the male to rear a family. Hi, I'm Prophet Lexi, the director of Talk Therapy. Talk Therapy is here to encourage and to uplift and to talk to fathers in the 14 parishes of how powerful it is to have a man in your household, how powerful it is to return the strength of manhood in the house. Because even mothers will say that it's very difficult to raise a child without a father because it needs that stern voice. It needs that stability. Being a single father, they couldn't have done it without the community. And what they would love to see, based on what's happening we're speaking about Jamaica now, based on what we're seeing in Jamaica with the crime and the violence and the fatherless and the motherless and stuff like that, what they're saying that having a father in the household means a lot. And most of them that are single father, it was so ironic. They said it was some of their brethren, as they would say in Jamaica, would help them because sometimes getting up in the morning, getting the children ready for school, sometimes they have to work, they may need somebody to pick up the child, it's a brethren they can call on. So it was that unity between the male, within the manhood in the house. They stood together, stood their ground, understand that the mom is not here, but we're here for you. So those are some of the issues that we have seen today. We have seen where Jamaica itself has lost family, nuclear family. There's most household in Jamaica, from what I've seen, I'm not going to say statistics because we have not run the numbers on it, and numbers doesn't lie, but from what I have seen over the years being in different communities, I've been through the parishes, I've heard the cry of the father, I've heard the cry of the mother. And what I'm realizing, there's not a lot of fathers in the house. So a lot of them looks for a father. That's why we have dons. That's why everyone call somebody else father, because maybe they've shown them that side of them to relate to them in the house. So having the father not in the house, it puts the children in a place where they go searching for a father.
Now, my peeps, so the Jamaican for Justice is still planning to go ahead with their protest against police fatal knockings and clappings on the 29th of April, that's this month. So let me explain something to you, because I don't think most of us realize how much trouble we are in as a nation. And I am talking directly to the criminal rights group, JFJ, because you're nothing but exactly that. Did you see the recent recovery of weapons at the wharf? Did you even take notice of the amount of rifles at an increasing percentage for each recovery? This translates to gangs being armed more often with rifles than with handguns. And take it exactly as I say it. Handguns are no match for criminal elements with rifles. And if this continues, even licensed firearm holders will become virtually defenseless when they come under attack, which they have had come under attack in several incidents over the years. And this will include money couriers, police, and army, although they are armed with rifles. But they will be less capable than they are now to win gunfights against criminal elements, which of course are the gangs, the same group of criminal elements to whom you, JFJ, are championing their cause. Many might say On The Spot News Media is championing on behalf of the police. But no, I am championing on behalf of Jamaica. And I will side with whomever is going up against the criminal networks that are breaking down the very fabric of our great nation, island home, Jamaica. So as a nation, we are in a fight for our lives. Whilst we have this group who call themselves Jamaicans for Justice, who only champion the cause of gangs under the description of human rights activists. We have never seen you out here championing the rights of the many victims that these criminal elements leave lifeless and their family members. On a good year, we can see over 1,000 people losing their lives to the hands of criminals. And on a bad year, up to 1,600 people lose their lives to the hands of criminal elements. And what you are worried about is the few criminal elements who come up against the security forces and lose their lives. So let me say this before I continue with the other stories in this morning's vlog. Whilst you are standing in half a tree with your little placards made uptown, which is far away from the dons and the gang violence in these political garrisons, the dons and criminal elements who are sending for other people's teenage daughters, the dons and criminal elements, the old dirty corner boy them, we continue to knock it and clap it upon the regular members of Jan Public, raising our murder toll to way over 1,000 over the past 25 years. Consider that this reality may be one day your reality and not just for your gardeners. Because your gardener, your helper, come from down in the slum and you sit uptown on your IRs and try to sway the minds of the general public to join you in a protest against the security forces who are out there in these garrisons risking their lives to save ours. Boy, may I tell you, the thing rough. But anyway, make we continue. Now over there in the troubled, war-torn, crime-riddled St. Catherine North Police Division, guess where go on, my people? The police, them hold on pan, the notorious Panty man. Yeah, man. Now on your screen is the criminal element known as Panty man, whose correct name is Kemar Miller. He was held on to by the police sometime last night, right in the vicinity of the KFC and Marchpen Road. He was seen traveling in a BMW motor car in the company of another criminal element known as TJ from the Garden Pen community. Now, this criminal element has been deemed wanted by the St. Catherine North Police for quite some time, but has eluded the long arms of the law. Now, this is to show the general public that when a criminal element is apprehended by the police and surrenders peacefully, he will be taken into custody alive. Now, many critics like the JFJ would say otherwise, but here is a notorious and reputed Nakis and Clappis, a real old dirty kind of boy in the truest sense of the word, and he was taken in by the police. Now, I'm pretty sure that many would have rather to hear Panty Man meeting his demise because of the many lives that he has left torn apart, the many lives that he has left laying 6 feet under, and the many broken families that he has left crying for a lifetime. So Panty Man is presently off our nation's streets. Now we are going to definitely follow this one to see when the charges are laid against him, and to see if when he's brought before the courts, if Your Honor, I go give him some bail and make him come back on the streets and smile and yell. We have seen it happen so many times, so let's hope that this time Your Honor doesn't see it fit and Panty Man stays behind bars for a mighty long time. Yeah, man. And before me continue, my peeps, me really have to highlight this because this criminal element presently on your screen, identified as Drasman, was featured on this channel in recent times. And he is also a notorious criminal element within the Spanish Town space, who is wreaking havoc, by the way, in the general market and business district in Spanish Town. So Spanish Town have a rather interesting set of criminal elements, an interesting crop of criminal elements. The infamous Drasman and the infamous Panty Man. Yeah, man. Boy, I better tell you, it's rough. But anyway, make we continue. Now, the next thing that we're going to talk about, my peeps, is coming out of the Manchester Police Division, where a man's decomposed body was found by the police. So the Manchester Police are probing the circumstances surrounding the loss of life of a 27-year-old man after his body was found in Albion on Sunday afternoon. The relatives of the man has since identified him as this man presently on your screen, identified as Akeem Robinson, but he's more popularly known in the streets as Musso, said to be a resident of Albion district. Now, relatives says that Robinson wasn't seen for days as he didn't show up for work. His cousin Patrick Wright said that sometime around 4 p.m. on Sunday, a family friend kicked off the door of Robinson's one-bedroom dwelling and saw his body laying in an advanced state of decomposition. Now we're going to hear from his cousin as his cousin relates to us what he think may have happened. Now listen.
And my neighbor called me and tell me that they found his body over here. So is somebody that is responsible for the place. My cousin is abroad that own here, and he called those that he left to also work and control the place to come and see him, because he might call him and get him.
He lived alone?
Yeah, he alone was at the house here.
I understand he's a young person. Did you know have any illness?
Yes, man. He met in an accident some years ago, bike accident, and fall in a coma for a few weeks in the hospital. When he woke up, after that he started to have these seizures. So he have seizures quite often. I take up the phone and call my sister and tell him to call his mother. And I get them in New York, they were at a funeral. And then my sister tried to get her mommy in Los Angeles, but I suspect that is what happened, because him like in his bed, it's a seizure, because it was at my house he used to stay first. That's next door, and this thing would happen to him quite often, and I always encourage him to leave the smoking, because maybe smoking helped to cause the seizures, you know. But it's so sad, you know. So sad. So sad.
So with that said, my peeps, remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel, stay tuned to On The Spot News Media as I continue to bring you fresh news and updates in subsequent newscast. On The Spot News Media. Yeah, man.